Amazing. Okay, great. Did that really work? Guys, I just feel like the light, I don't have a ring cam or anything. Just the way the light is right now, plus this orchid that came back. I love it when orchids come back. It's not so hard. I hope you guys are amazing. It's a beautiful day. That's a song I had in my head. Do you remember that song? Okay. Doom. Oh, it's so sweet of you to stop by. Really. You just called me a demon or something. So, definitely last week was a trap. Okay, guys. So, there's some stuff. You can pick a page number if you like. This book that I keep telling you guys about, it's called Breath. So, don't take my word for it. Take a man's word for it that's done so many things. Okay, so let me tell you one thing he did. In the first chapter, him and another scientist taped their noses so that they're only mouth breathing. Do you understand? I've mentioned before that we are the worst breathers in the animal kingdom. So they taped their nose for, I believe, 14 days or 14 days or 2 weeks. I would say something like that, wouldn't I? 14 days or 7 days. Maybe it was 7. But the tests, so they had like all their blood work done before, the tests from before and after are insane. You can pick any thing that you like. I mean, if you pick a number, I'll read it. Otherwise, I want to just read something. But hold on, it's just easier, especially because of the light. I can see Zitchat on Ziphone. Okay. Yo, did you guys like that thumbnail? That's so old school. Okay. It's from a very, very old yoga studio schedule thing. Okay. Okay, so I dog-eared this one. 40% of today's population suffers from chronic nasal obstruction, and around half of us are habitual mouth breathers. Females and children suffering the most. The causes are many: dry air to stress, inflammation to allergies, pollution to pharmaceuticals. But much of the blame, I'll soon learn, because he did this test on himself. I'll soon learn can be placed on ever-shrinking real estate in the front of the human skull. I'm going to reread that for everyone in the back. Ever-shrinking real estate. That's the frontal lobe he's referring to. Ever-shrinking real estate in the front of the human skull. When mouths don't grow wide enough. Everyone calls me a horse mouth. That's fun, right? Well, let's see how I do. When mouths don't grow wide enough. Sorry. When mouths don't grow wide enough, the roof tends to rise up instead of out. Interessante. Forming what's called a V shape or high arched palate. The upward growth impedes the development of the nasal cavity, shrinking it and disrupting the delicate structures in the nose. The reduced nasal space leads to obstruction and inhibits airflow. Overall, humans have the sad distinction of being the most plugged up species on Earth. So what I'm saying, guys, and I'll reiterate this, I don't know how else to say it. It's like, if you went somewhere and someone's like, do you want $100 or do you want $1? It's literally that easy to understand. Conscious, deep breathing, even just doing it like 5 or 10 times a day will literally change your anatomical circumstances. So as the sun starts to set, I'm going to be playing with my light, and we're going to do that. because that's what I like. That's why I'll retitle it later. But I just thought it was so cool how the light was coming in on the orchid and stuff. Okay, so some of you guys make fun of me or like to make fun of me about breathing. I breathe anyway. Yeah, your autonomic nervous system is going to breathe your body. Great. So that's like taking $1. Intentionally inhaling deep and slow and low to your belly and exhaling all the air out, i.e. 70% of toxins. There's usually more air left than you think. It's like taking $100. So do you want to just take $1 or do you want to take $100? I'm always going to take the 100 because as you know, I'm getting paid. We're getting paid. Is there anyone that's not doing that now? I love how I started that little thing. Okay. Where was I? So he's going back to a little bit of stuff that's okay. A while back, some 4 billion years ago, our earliest ancestors appeared on some rocks. We were small then, a microscopic ball of sludge, and we were hungry. We needed energy to live and proliferate, so we found a way to eat air. The atmosphere was mostly carbon dioxide then, not the best fuel, but it worked well enough. These early versions of us learned to take this gas in, break it down, and spit out what was left, oxygen. For the next billion years, the primordial goo kept us doing this, eating more gas, making more sludge, and excreting more oxygen. Then around 2.5 billion years ago, there was enough oxygen waste in the atmosphere that a scavenger ancestor emerged to make use of it. It learned to gulp in all the leftover oxygen and excrete carbon dioxide, the first cycle of aerobic life. Oxygen, it turned out, produced 16 times more energy than carbon dioxide. Aerobic life forms use this boost to evolve to leave the sludge-covered rocks behind and grow larger and more complex. They crawled up land, dove deep into the sea, and flew out into the air. They became plants, trees, birds, bees, and the earliest mammals. Mammals grew noses to warm and purify the air. Throats. Did you ever think about all this? Throats. Oh, wait, hold on. Mammals grew noses to warm and purify the air. Throats to guide air into lungs. Sorry, Boba. And a network of sacs that would remove oxygen from the atmosphere and transfer it into the blood. The aerobic cells that once clung to swampy rocks so many eons ago now made up the tissues in mammalian bodies. These cells took oxygen from our blood and returned carbon dioxide, which traveled back through the veins, through the lungs, and into the atmosphere, the process of breathing. The ability to breathe so efficiently in a wide variety of ways, consciously and unconsciously, fast, slow, and not at all, allowed our mammal ancestors to catch prey, escape predators, and adapt to different environments. So that's an important one. There's a therapist I used to work with, and she would say, Ashley, you breathe like you're hiding. And I do. Sometimes I don't realize it. I'll just be holding my breath. I think there was a lot of hiding that had to happen at some points. But think about that. What were the other examples that they gave? So think about it. When a predator goes to catch prey, right? They'll hold their breath to be quiet. When a prey animal, or like exactly a prey animal, knows that something's coming after it, it will hide. right? It will not breathe. And part of the as quiet as you can be, right, would be holding your breath. It was all going well until about 1.5 million years ago, when the pathways through which we took in and exhaled air began to shift and fissure. It was a shift that much later in history would affect the breathing of every person on Earth. I've been feeling these facts. Okay, so he goes on and on and on. I can't be here all night, but I wanted to give you guys an intro to this book because I know one person has bought this book. It's called Breath by James Nestor. I know of one person that has purchased it, but I feel like everyone should have it. I feel like it should be part of the curriculum at school. You know? Hi, Josh Pittman. What's going on, Josh Pittman? Let's see. Did I miss any super chats? Oh, Doom. Doomy Doom. Doom, are you going to super chat me or no? For all the content you've made and made money from? No, I'll never do it. I'll just invite you to Rumble. Or where'd you invite me? Was that even you? Let's see. What? Who? What do you think of the last MLC with MK? I mean, I can't. The one thing, I don't know if Doom's still here, I'll say it. What are the best breathers? Sorry, let me read that. What are the best breathers? We can do a breathing exercise if you want. It was 9 days. What was 9 days? Anyways, okay. So, breathe. So the takeaway, right? The takeaway is, what's the takeaway? You can always, your body's always going to breathe itself. You can totally opt out of cognizantly breathing your body ever or at all. But that's like taking $1. I think we get the point of the orchid. I'm not going to hit it anymore, so I'm going to move it. It's like taking... Wait, now you're making me... Now I'm making myself think of an old song. Trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, right? It's like taking $1 when you can get $100 just by choosing to breathe differently. So there's that part. Hey, Angela. Danielle just left. She was here for a week, Angela. Oh, also this. Someone recently was like, Ashley, you suck at streaming. I was like, when have I ever pretended to try? Like, come on now. When have I ever pretended to try? That's the funny part. Danielle was here, Angela. She came from England. She left today, which makes me incredibly sad and really honestly pisses me off. But we had a wonderful time together. Trying to see. Oh, the point of that was we were laughing because we both have contacts and we both wear glasses, so we can't fucking see. Like, I can sort of see, but I could see if it was like a super chat, you know? If Doom is still here, I'll tell the joke. It's a joke I've had in my back pocket for like years. I just never thought there would actually be a like reason or way to use it besides in the funny ways that I've used it. But yeah, read that question before. All right, guys. You're welcome to Super Chat. I'll hang around for another few minutes. I'll read a little bit about the benefits of breathing intentionally because everyone should know that. And I didn't start this channel to make money, right? But I do actually have to work on one of my other 3 jobs. I want this to make money. I want it to be helpful. It's kind of disorganized, and I wanted to make a thing about bullying and like I don't know, online stuff. But I don't feel like doing it today. Okay. Let the rain wash over you. Could or couldn't be a song. Completely up to you. See, I've got all these places. Okay. This is going to be good, where I've got my notes all scribbled. That's got to be good, right? Okay, so this is just going in, like, I don't know if you guys will even hear me, but I hope that you will. I took anatomy in high school and then again in university, but I didn't get so into it. Like, it wasn't as accessible. Maybe it felt a little too mathematical, whatever it was. But once I started practicing yoga in 2000, the year 2000, I started getting super into anatomy because it's very relevant. And once I started teaching and stuff, obviously even more so. It's funny how when you do different things in your life, different aspects of life become more important. Like, for example, algebra. I have said since 9th grade, when I first failed algebra 101, I'm never going to use this in real life. I am 43 years old. I have yet to opened, operated 2 yoga studios on my own. Thank you for the super chat. Opened a art gallery with my father. For Pepe. Aw, Pepe Le Pew. I'll tell this Pepe Le Pew story if you want me to. I love you, Danielle. I miss you. I miss you like crazy. I miss you like crazy. All right, let me not get off topic. Danielle had a great idea. She was like, Ashley, let's make a video of all the videos you didn't actually get to the point of the video. I was going to do power up now for you, Danielle, but we're doing breathing. Now Danielle made me forget what I was going to say. Algebra. Still have never used it. Not once in my life. Building, opening, operating 2 yoga studios, an art gallery. Let's see, working like pretty much every job. Like, the only jobs I haven't had are like bookkeeping jobs. That might require algebra, but I have a feeling it doesn't, actually. I love you. Thank you for the soup. Can we all follow Danielle's lead, please? And thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna just break breathing down for you. That's what the video will be, and that's what I have to offer to thee. Danielle, how cute is the lighting though, by the way? Like, that's one of the reasons I just jumped on live. I was texting Danielle. She's on a plane going far away from me, which is annoying me, but she fixed my whole apartment, so now the desk makes sense. Danielle, look. I started because of, you know why. Okay, so breathing as it happens. It's getting dark though, guys. Not able to see that well. Danielle, my light is still in the car. You know what I'm talking about? My ring light thing. Breathing as it happens is more than just a biochemical or physical act. It's more than just moving the diaphragm downward and sucking in air to feed hungry cells and remove wastes. The tens of billions of molecules we bring into our bodies with every breath also serve a more subtle but equally important role. They influence nearly every internal organ, telling them when to turn on and off. They affect heart rate, digestion, Danielle, did you hear my joke about how we both have corrective lenses, but neither of us can see? They affect heart rate, digestion, moods, attitudes, when we feel aroused and when we feel nauseated. Breathing is a power switch to a vast network called the autonomic nervous system. There are two sections of the system, and they serve opposite functions. Each is essential to our well-being. I'm going to have to move into the light, ladies and gentlemen. Danielle, you know what I did? I put that basket. You know what I'm talking about? All right, we're good. There are two sections of the system. They serve opposite functions. Each is essential to our well-being. The first, called the parasympathetic nervous system, stimulates relaxation and restoration. The mellow buzz you get during a long massage and or hard-on, as we've heard, right? Or the sleepiness you feel after a big meal, I like how that rhymes, happens because of the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system sends signals to your stomach, i.e. vagus nerve, to digest, to the brain, and to the brain to pump feel-good hormones such as serotonin, oxytocin, into your bloodstream. Parasympathetic stimulation opens the floodgates in our eyes and makes the tears flow at weddings. Or me every day. What? Wait. Parasympathetic stimulation. I have too much parasympathetic stimulation. We all know this. It prompts salivation before meals, loosens the bowels to eliminate waste, and stimulates the genitals before sex. If you're not a person, that would make any woman's vagina so fucking dry. For these reasons, it's sometimes called feed and breed. I've underlined it, but I don't remember it. For some reasons, this is why it's called feed and breed system. The lungs are covered with nerves that extend to both sides of the autonomic nervous system, and many of the nerves connecting to the parasympathetic nervous system are located in the lower lobes, which is... The sun is going down fast, my friends. Okay, I cannot read. I got this. Smart girl things. The lungs are covered with nerves that extend to both sides. Anyway, we're going to move along, ladies and gentlemen. We have to beat the light here. Okay, so we have to move to the other page. Basically, their nerves. The deeper and more softly we breathe in, the longer we exhale, the more slowly the heart beats and the calmer we become. I've been telling you guys this. No one listens. People have evolved to spend the majority of waking hours and all of our sleeping hours in this state of recovery and relaxation. Chilling out helped make us human. The second half of the autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic, has the opposite role. It sends stimulating signals to our organs, telling us to get ready for action. A profusion of nerves to this system are spread out at the top of the lungs when we take short, hasty breaths. Remember, I talked to you guys about this recently. When we take short, hasty breaths, the molecules of the air switch on the sympathetic nerves. They work like 911. They work like 911 calls. I told you guys. So that's one way you can trick your brain too. So I made this example a bunch of times. if you go on your computer and you see like an alert or something that and it's a autonomic, it's like a autonomic, it's a response, then you can choose, what's all this about? Right? So you can kind of reverse the game. Okay. See what else is important here. Dun, 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 dun. Our bodies are built to stay in a state of heightened sympathetic alert only for short bursts and only on occasion. Although that's why it's really important to regulate, yeah? Although sympathetic stress takes just a second to activate, turning it all off and returning to a state of relaxation or homeostasis and restoration can take an hour or more. If you have trauma, it can take like more than a day. Let's see. Let's see. What's up, Josh Pittman? All right, I'm running out of light. I have all this yummy food to make from Daniele. So let's see. Let me find a good takeaway to incentivize this. Because, yeah, the bottom line is, yeah, thankfully, we don't have to think about every inhale and every exhale. Can you imagine? But the more often you intentionally inhale deeper through your nose, send oxygen to your belly, and oxygenate your organs, increase circulation, relaxation, the happier your body will be. The happier your body will be. The human body, I think this will be a good insum. The human body has evolved to be able to breathe through two channels for a reason. It increases our chances of survival. The two channels being nose, your nostrils, and your mouth, right? Two channels. It's actually three, but it's two, right? The human body evolved to be able to breathe through the nose and the mouth for a reason. It increases our chances of survival. Should the nose get obstructed, the mouth becomes a backup ventilation system. The mouth is a backup ventilation system. If you don't remember anything, remember that part. The few gasping breaths Stephen Curry takes before dunking a basketball, or a sick kid huffs when he has a fever, or you take in when you're laughing with your friends, this temporary mouth breathing will have no long-term effects on health. Chronic mouth breathing is different. The body is not designed to process raw air for hours at a time, day or night. There is nothing normal about it. This guy's so amazing. He's got a lot of podcasts. You can find him everywhere. I want to say Stephen Nestor. I think I'm right. James Nestor. I'll put it in the, you know what I'll put it in. James Nestor. The book is called Breath. I think he's got another one by now. King Vibe. Wait, you guys couldn't hear me at all? The whole time? That's hilarious. Okay. Well, God saw it. Seriously, Josh, could you guys not hear me? King Vibe, could you guys not hear me? Also, King Vibe, I have some private questions for you. No, it's not you. It's someone else. Well, I guess might as well go. All right, guys, don't forget to breathe deep in and long out. So you want to inhale through the nose with relaxed shoulders as much as you can. Fill your belly up with oxygen and exhale all the air out. Remembering that 70% of toxins exit the body through the process of exhale. We don't want toxins in the body. Doom. Is that a red light therapy, Mike? You know what? I think I just decided it is. It's a red light therapy mic. Does anyone have any questions or comments about breathing and the different, like what I'm talking about? Like, yeah, I get that some of you guys aren't familiar with the benefits. So it's like, oh, whatever, that sounds really lame and really like, it's like breath work. Like I breathe, my body breathes fine. What I'm trying to tell you is information that could change your life and make you feel better in your body. And that's what I'm on this planet to do. So that's one of the things I'm here to do. So if you have questions about breath, let me know. I'll hang out for a couple more minutes. But I think the best analogy I just came up with tonight, it's like autonomic breathing, like the breathing your body is doing anyway, right? That's like if somebody put down $100 bill and a $1 bill, that's just like continuing to take the $1. And the cool thing about this analogy is it's so perfect. The $100 bill is always right there, but there's nothing extra you have to. I mean, you just something that feels good, taking over your breath. The breath also always grounds you in the present moment. Okay, so the present moment is, how do I want to say this tonight? So there's something that people say a lot. If you're a person that spends too much time in the past, you're a person that will feel a bit heavy and a bit like you're a bit more of a procrastinator. You're a bit slower maybe in some ways. A person that thinks too much about the future, right? It tends to have a bit more anxiety. One thing that is true for sure, and like somebody said, Ashley, when people talk about statistics, just know that they're fucking lying. Know that they don't make any sense. They're bullshit. And to a certain extent, I think it's true. But there is one that I know is 100% on point. 99% of the time. 95% of the things that you fear, 95% of the things that you worry are going to happen will never come to pass. So think about how much wasted time, energy, resources, whatever it is, that we spend trying to avoid things that will never ever come to pass. I would do my little dance. Well, I'll do it for Danielle. Thank you for the $10, Danielle, because okay, guys. Doom's chill. Yeah, that is funny. Doom has a clip. There's this woman. Doom, I'd love to hear the story about that actually, if you want to tell it. So Doom is hilarious. There's like little clips in front of their clips, and one is like this lady, and I'm telling you, Doom, what made me laugh even more about this one. Find Doom, find God. She like looks like so many like whatever, you guys can make fun of me for looking old, it's fine, but like even older looking women that come and do yoga or come and like do like retreats and stuff, and they're coming to be like quote unquote like doing something cool or special, but it's like you'll see them fighting in the parking lot each other for the parking space. Like, you're coming into my yoga class, like the parking spots are not very far from each other. So many things don't make sense, but that lady looks like, that's very funny. I just saw that Doom wrote that, but that lady looks like the kind of lady that probably pretends like she's super chill and super like kind or whatever, but then she's like yelling at people or fighting in the Whole Foods parking lot for someone's parking space. All right, you guys, I am over and out. I cannot over recommend this book. It's called Breath by James Nestor. You can also just I'm going to put him in the, you know what I'm talking about, the thing in the bottom, the description. He's got a bunch of interviews. I'd like to interview him. I'm trying to remember if I emailed him. You guys have no idea the people I've emailed. Like some of the funniest people. I'm still waiting for Bobby Altoff. She's back, but she hasn't responded to me. James Nestor, he's got a bunch of interviews and he speaks very succinctly. He's a man, so a lot of you guys might be more into him than you are into me in terms of receiving information. I think I was very clear in that video. Let's do the intro was what? Breathing and my randomness. And then the outro was, my friend's like, you need to intro and outro. My outro was just everything that I said, right? We don't need to. The takeaway is to inhale and exhale. To inhale through your nose as often as possible and intentionally and as deeply as possible is like taking $100 instead of $1. And who wouldn't want $100 more than $1? And the way that I'm relating that is like, and if money is a triggering thing for you, like a lot of people a lot of you have expressed, it's more like, okay, then let's call it your health. There's nothing more valuable than your health, right? So investment in self. But always do you, right? Do you, do you, do you. Do you, do you, do you. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really read unless it's like there's money involved. Unless I see like a big block thing where it's like a super chat, I can't see it at all. That's like actually a joke. But I would look harder. All right, guys, have an amazing evening. Yeah, no, it was King Kush, not King Vibe. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Stay happy. This week I'll be with Kiki on Thursday night at 9, not on Wednesday. So it'll be Thursday. Shut up. 6 p.m. my time, LA time, 9 p.m. East Coast. So we're switching the day just this week, and then we'll go back to Wednesdays next week. Aight. All right, guys. Love you. Have an amazing night. Thank you for being here. Just have fun in your lives. Do fun things and stay happy. Okay. Stop streaming. I'm out. Bye-bye. Thank you again for the